My God, I hate drugs. I cannot afford at this time to go to war. I cannot go into a battle which I cannot win, and it would only result in the destruction and probably a lot of losses for our armed forces. Ako gusto ko, I really want to do something to assert. But you know, when I assumed the presidency, there was already this ROCOS in the West Philippine Sea. It used to be China Sea. And because in my simple calculation, with every common sense that's available to me, I would have taken a stronger but probably a more violent way of doing it. And I said, in my own estimation, it would be a great loss to the nation and probably end up losing a war. And all of these things I would have wanted to made known to you. And whether you accept it or not, that is the reality on the ground. That's geopolitics. You well know what are at stakes. I cannot rely just on one nation and country to defend us, and maybe to help us in our hour of need. We had a very sad experience in the Marawi siege, and we all know and that we have fallen short in some respects the way it was handled. I assume full responsibility. I did not anticipate or even guess that there would be so much ordnance and that the fight would take us about 4 months to finish. All of these forts, if it is indeed one, or our forts, it belongs and it falls on my shoulders as Commander-in-Chief. And I assume full responsibility to the nation of what's going to happen. Now, as a matter of fact, I was with, I'm veering away from my speech already. In the first bilateral meeting with China, I was there with General Lorenzana. By the way, Troop Commander, could I request you to give the order of Tikas Pahinga? I'm sorry, I overlooked it. Generals Lorenzana, Anyo, and I think it was Anyo then was the Chief of Staff, Speron, the National Security Advisor, and a full cabinet in a bilateral confrontation. And I began by just asking that, if it's an inventory, you can look at it, and it's all firearms. Yung forma ng baril nandyan. But those are old ones, and sometimes it would falter in the heat of battle and place in jeopardy the lives of my soldiers. And so I went around to buy new ones, and the first thing I did was I announced to President Xi Jinping that I have come here to discuss about the arms, and I will buy it. I'm not asking it for free, but in our long conversation, in one of those moments, he said, no, you just do not worry about it. We will give it to you free. And because there was the shipment which was ordered from another country, and we expected new ones, because the intelligence, even if I was the mayor, I have roots there in Narawi. The intelligence came very fast that there was a build-up. And I said, for all of its, the short-sightedness, maybe it falls upon my shoulders to bear the burden. I and I alone should be responsible for that. But anyway, I congratulate and I pay homage to my soldiers, my policemen, and I was there almost 9 times to join them even at night, just to give them the esprit de corps to. It was a very harsh condition. And by the way, I also went to Russia and explained to them about my quandary, about not having so much firearms, or I needed new ones, the accurate ones that not have been really, if you can describe it, a battle-weary gun. And I had to get new ones. And Putin had to come back earlier because my meeting with him was on the next day. Yet. But when he knew that I was coming home, because it was at the time that Marawi exploded, I had to go home and to declare martial law in another country. That is a painful realization, to be signing something about your country, about the safety of your country, about the safety of the people, and to give the orders outside of the Republic of the Philippines. It probably, I would say that it leaves a dent in my own history when I go out of government services. So, masakit para sa akin na both Filipinos dying. But since I am the commander-in-chief, I had to stay with my soldiers and my policemen. And I will continue to place a premium. Ganito kasi yan eh. A lot of complaints has been raised about government people raising howl about the doubling of salaries. In an ordinary time, or even during extreme conditions or extreme danger, we go out with the bureaucracy. We go out of our house expecting to be back at night to join our family. But these guys, when they are called for an assignment and there's trouble, even a small pocket battles everywhere, the possibility of not coming home again or getting back to the house in horizontal position is not quite. And so that is why I really, I've been mayor for 23 years. Huwag na ho kayong nagyabang ako, but my father was also governor of Davao province before. It was only one. And I'm quite maybe familiar of the dynamics that goes on and what role has the uniformed personnel had to do in those times. It's really a matter of life and death. Maybe I can come home, maybe I will not make it with my family. And that is the reason why nauna sila. Because I was way ahead, actually. I made that promise as a campaign platform to improve the situation of the police and the military. And I must admit that until now, we have so many problems involving the police. And we are struggling to correct things. I've chosen the best of the disciplinarians. Unknown people are really very strict in the military ways. I think that I might return the training itself and the militaristic activity training of the police back to the PNP itself. It has not done good since we transferred it to a public safety, with due respect to General De Leon, who was assigned in Davao City before. He's a very competent, but the system it ain't working. And we're producing, to my mind, some lousy men getting into the service under questionable circumstances. Nagkulang tayo doon sa background check and even the matter of the protocol of joining the police. Marami niyan mga salbahe na who are really criminals, but who maneuvered somehow to get into the service. And some of them, sadly, are really into drugs. So I just remind everybody, including, most of all, the policemen, because there are plenty. I'm just warning them that if you are into it, you will be the first to go. You interpret it in many, and whatever suits you would be fine. Pero kayo talaga ang uunahin ko. And it is no surprise that we are just also falling down one by one. And the mayors, and the barangay captains. It's a policy which I cannot renege or even move a little backwards. Drugs would destroy the nation, period. And the drug war will include the military and the police. You know, if I were to reduce abbreviated oath of office, and for all of you, lahat tayo, it simply says, our duty mandates us that we must, it's a mandatory direction,